Hey there folks, it's Ruby Juice, and I am here today to show you how fund transfers work on the FSN website. Now, this is something that trips up a lot of people, and so I wanted to go over it step by step, make sure everybody understands exactly how the transfers work, what the different types of accounts are, and all of those sorts of things. So let's head into the fund transfer area and we'll get started. So to do that, we go to Finances and Funds Transfer. Now there's a bunch of text here and you need to read it very carefully. So this is the area where you will add funds to your web account or move funds from your web account to your in-game account. And so this is the place you do it. Now when you make a fund transfer request, it generally takes between 24 to 72 hours. Depends on staff availability, what they're working on, what they've got time for, all those sorts of things. But generally it'll be done within 3 days. Also in this area, you can transfer money from your regular or your IG or in-game account to your meta account. So IG here at the top is your quote-unquote in-game. Now that doesn't mean that you have it on the server in your farm account if you're a farm manager. This means that this is the type of money that is used for game-related things like permits or being transferred. It can be transferred to your server account. It could be used to purchase equipment here on the website, those sorts of things. So this is game-related money. Your M or your meta account is money that's used for things like the gaming center or the global market economy. Also, stocks in the investment center go into your meta money. And these are things that you'll learn over time, but also it's good to know up front the main things that are associated with each type of account, especially when you're going to transfer the money from one to the other. And see here in the red text, for every in-game year, so every FSN year, which is 12 real-life days, you have a limited amount of money that you can transfer from your meta account into your regular or your in-game account. So here where it says regular account, it's referring to your in-game IG account. So you have a limited amount of money you can take from the meta and put into the in-game. And that's because if you're sitting there and you're making a ton of money on the global market and you're just raking in the bucks, this is to help balance things out so that you can't just transfer millions of dollars to your farm and buy up all the land on the auction market or anything like that. So this is to help just keep some of that money. It's got to be limited to meta. So you could reinvest it in more warehouses for the global market. You could do all of those sorts of things, but you can't necessarily take all of it and put it into your in-game account. So for me, I currently have $156,000 that I am able to transfer out of my meta account and to my regular account, again, the in-game account, for this game year. Obviously, I've only got $76 in my meta account because I don't do a whole lot of things on the meta side of the game, so I'm not anywhere close to that. But for some people, they might have a ton of money and maybe their limit would be a little bit lower, or maybe they've just used up a whole bunch of it. So just keep an eye on that and be aware that you can't always transfer as much as you want out of your meta to your in-game. There is that limit there. And that limit is a percentage, I believe, of your total net asset value. So as you grow, that limit will rise as well, but it will always be a limited number. Now for me, what I do the most of is either transferring money from the website to the game or vice versa. So you see here on the right-hand side, these are requests that I've put in the past. So I've put in requests to transfer money to the game, and that goes to my actual account on my FarmSim server, run by the FSN, of course. But I am a farm manager on Bjornholm, so when I transfer the money to game, that gives me that money. As soon as it's processed, again, within 24 to 72 hours, I get that money in the game and I'm able to use it for things like seed or fertilizer, or if I do want to buy equipment from the NPC store rather than a dealership on the website, I can do those things in the game with that money. And conversely, if I sell crops at one of the in-game sell points as opposed to selling it through the website, through customs, then I take that and I transfer that money to my web account because I don't need all of that money in my farm account on the server. It's going to do me more good here on the website where I can earn interest in savings or I can buy equipment through a dealership, things like that. So in order to do that, you go to this drop down. So if you want to transfer to web account, that is meaning transferring it from the game server to the web. Transfer to game account means taking it from your website in-game account, your IG account. If we do transfer to game account, it takes it from your IG and will transfer it onto the server that you choose. And for most people like me, if you're a farm manager and you have one server that you're active on or that you own land on, then that will be here. But you can select it in the drop-down if you have more than one farm slot. Obviously, transfer amount, you just type in the amount that you want. Don't put in any commas or decimals. Just type in the amount. Just like you see here, 50,000, no commas, nothing like that. Just put in the number. You are able to transfer money from one server to another. And then here, like I've been saying, you can transfer from your meta to your regular, and then this would take away from this limit. So if I transferred $50,000, I'd have $106,000 left that I could transfer. And I could also transfer from my regular to my meta. So if I want to be able to buy a new warehouse on the global market, then I would transfer some of this money into my meta account so that I could use it there rather than for in-game things. So for me, here we are. It is early winter. I actually just sold some of my oats because I was getting a really good price at one of the in-game sell points for oats here on day one of winter. And you see up in the top right-hand corner, I've got $83,000 on the server that I'm a farm manager on. Now, like I said, I don't need $83,000 to spend on seed or fertilizer. That money is going to do me a lot more good on the website. I want to get that money off of the server and onto the website. So in order to do that, I'm going to say transfer to web account. So that means take it off the server, take it out of the game, and put it on the website. And so I've got $83,000 on the server. I'm going to take about $75,000 because I want to leave a little bit there so I have some for seed, fertilizer, maintenance, whatever else I need to do on the server, but I want to take most of it. And so all you do is make sure you've got the right amount and the server. Again, I'm a farm manager on number 19, Bjornholm. And you click Transfer Funds. You see this yellow banner pop up. You have submitted a fund transfer request. Please allow 24 to 72 hours for this to complete. And if I go back into the funds transfer menu, you see here, it shows when it was submitted. So that's always in the website time. The type, so to web from the game, the amount, and the status. So if it's pending, it's in the staff queue, it will pop up for them to do. It might be done in a short time, could be done in 3 days. Again, really depends on how much time they've got and what else is on their plates. And the other very, very important thing to note is that you're only allowed to make one of these types of transfers every 24 hours. So if I go into my drop down, you see here now the to web and to game options are gone. I am still able to transfer either from my meta to my regular or vice versa, but I can't transfer any more money from either the web to the game or from the game to the web right now. Because if I was able to submit a request every 3 hours, staff would be having a nightmare just transferring money and going back and forth. So in order to curb that, you're only allowed to make one of these requests every 24 hours. And that will be 24 hours from the time that you last submitted your request. So I'll be able to submit a new request to transfer money, if I want to, at about 12:30 a.m. website time tomorrow. And that is how you do a fund transfer on the FSN. I hope that this clears things up for a lot of people and really helps you understand the difference between in-game and meta and what the different transfers mean There is no limit to the amount of money that you can transfer either to your web account or game account between your server and the website. The amount is not limited. You're only limited in how often or how frequently you can make those requests. On the other hand, you are limited in the amount of money that you can transfer between your in-game and your meta accounts. So hopefully that's clear. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you next time.